Hello guys, today I'm going to be doing a demonstration for you for what the next lessons are going to be in the drawing and painting classroom. The first week you were learning the three basic marks of drawing, which are the silhouette, the cross contour, and the contour drawing, right? This week we're going to be using those same marks to experiment with the idea of value. Okay, the word value, V-A-L-U-E, is a word in art that refers to how light or dark something is. Something with a light value is very close to white. Something with a dark value gets darker and darker until it gets to black, right? So what we're going to be doing over the next week is you guys are going to be working on 4 of these exercises, practicing the use of the mark making that we did from week 1 and trying to discover how to control that mark making to create and control different values with your pencils, right? So there's going to be 4 different activities that you guys are going to be doing. The first activity is going to be a blending activity where you're going to create the scales with the silhouette mark, okay? Eventually using the silhouette mark to recreate this photograph down here, okay? The next exercise is going to be hatching, the hatching exercise, right? In a hatching drawing, you use the cross contour to create the drawing and make all the different shades of gray, right? Then, getting a little bit interesting, we're going to be doing pointillism, right? In pointillism, we use a different type of mark that we haven't covered yet in class. It's called the stippling mark. And just like it sounds, it is made out of dots, lots of dots, trying to create a shade of gray as even as possible. And then the very last one is cross hatching, okay? So in each one of these exercises, you guys, and I'm going right back to the beginning over here, okay? You guys are going to recreate both grayscales in the correct mark, okay? So, hold on, that's not the right one. Cross contour, bam, bam. I wanted to start with the silhouette mark, okay. So, just like in last week's exercises, you creating the drawing with the silhouette mark, you're going to first start creating all the different shades of gray, okay? First, in a staggered grayscale, in other words, each block needs to be filled in with a different shade of gray from light gray to black, right? And then in the gradient scale, where you can't tell, where the shades of gray softly transition from a light gray to black, right? So this is for you to show control over your pencil. So I'm going to demonstrate this for you now, and you can see kind of the steps involved. So in the time lapse, you just saw me recreate the shades of gray in the scale with the pencil, right? And here in the gradient, from dark to light, trying to make as even a shade of change as possible. These are techniques in controlling value. Now, the second step of the assignment is going to be that you're going to find each one of these shades of gray in this photograph, right? So this shade of gray over here is kind of really close to maybe like the third gray down, and the shade of gray in the background is kind of right about here. And you're going to have to analyze the photograph that you're looking at, to try to put the shades of gray in the correct places so that you can use your observation to learn how to find all of those different shades of gray in your observation and recreate the drawing as best you can with this gesture that has already been placed here for you. Now you can see in my worksheet, after creating the value scales from a light gray to as dark as I can make it with the pencils, right? And then trying to create a gradient that softly changes from dark to light, I tried to find and analyze all of the different shades of gray in the photograph of the simple shapes to recreate those darknesses where I see them inside of the drawing at the bottom of the page. The ability to do this is the ability to become sensitive to understanding what is light and what is dark. Look at the cube. The cube is being affected by a light source that we can't see in the picture, but it's coming in from this side. It's coming in from over here. So if you look at the three sides that you see of the cube, the left side of the cube is lighter than the top of the cube, which is in turn lighter than the right side of the cube. So when I was doing my drawing, I tried to keep this side of the cube as clean and as light as possible, using a light pencil to make the top part of the cube slightly darker than that, and then making this side, the right side, darker than all three to match what I see in the picture. Now, in this exercises this week, you're going to be practicing this with the silhouette.